What's up, bitches? Just got back from the gym. I've been going so I could walk my new pet rhino without dying. Now I've just got to do a couple errands, and then I'll be back on the grind. Buying gasoline is first on the list. Not for my car, I just drink it. I knew I shouldn't have spent all my money on steroids. Ugh, I just wish I could have found a way to conveniently segue into the topic of this video. Yeah, you read that correctly. In case you haven't noticed, I have a bit of a fascination with taking energy out of things that should not be exploited for energy. Now, you might be thinking, well, this is just completely impossible for Warden. You might have managed to make energy from bananas, but it's just not possible to turn humans into car fuel. And to that I say, yeah, you could be totally right. I haven't finished researching yet, but I'll get there. My current thesis runs along these lines. I know that at its base level, gasoline is a very refined product of crude oil, which is made by the decay of living organisms. So the idea is that if we decay a human, we can turn them into crude oil, and then turn that into gasoline, and then put that into my car to save me an at best marginal quantity of money. So the first thing I did was research the components of gasoline. It's basically just a refined petroleum product, and it has no exact defined composition. Complicated. Alright, well, I'll just figure out what petroleum is and then turn humans into that, then conveniently have a gasoline company make the petroleum into gas. So, what's petroleum? More hard answers. I'm really just not smart enough for this. I mean, it's bordering on pretty decently high-level chemistry, and even just looking at the chemical names gives my two brain cells a heart attack. Alright, let's do a rundown. So, at its core, a bunch of shit dies, falls down to an ocean floor, gets quickly buried by sediment before any bacteria can eat it, then some basic decomposition happens, then some black fucking magic occurs that apparently even the smart people can barely understand, then it gets heated up and pressurized, then becomes petroleum, but only in very specific conditions, which can then finally be further refined into gasoline. But here's where problems start. See, almost all crude oil is formed from algae and plankton. It might be technically possible to turn large animals into oil, but that's so ridiculously speculative, I have no research on it, and Lord knows I'm too stupid to try and research it myself. And on top of that, there's an even bigger problem, that being that the timescales of this transformation have 6 fucking zeros on them. Even if it is possible, I'd be dead 10,000 times before it'd finish. God, I just wish there was a way to make cars run without gasoline. Alright, so it's not technically what I said I was going to do, but come on, give me a break. Do you expect me to put actual effort into my videos? Absolutely not. So, what's the solution? Electric cars. I may not be able to make gasoline from a human, but I can sure as hell extract its energy to run a car, just the same. Let's do a breakdown of the positives and negatives. Positives, it's actually possible, unlike the gas car. Negatives, can't really tow anything, and does not break as many of the Geneva Conventions. So according to the internet, the most trustworthy information source, a cyclist outputs approximately 100 watts continuously. I believe by picking fit specimens, we can get this to an average of 150 watts per hour. We also need to know the wattage consumed by an electric car, so let's just Google that. Oh, great, it's just 1 to 200 watts. That's easy. Wait, it's 1 to 200 watts per mile. Okay, well, that's still doable. I'm just going to have to abuse vastly more people, which we all know I have nothing against. So, how many people do we need to get to a full charge? Well, a pretty decent electric car can contain about 200 kilowatt hours. We can do some simple math and determine that to arrive at a full charge in 1 hour, we need 1,333 people. Assuming I did the math right, which, me being a dumbass, I probably didn't, but yeah, so now we know how to get an electric car to run on humans. We need literally thousands of people. For reference, you can run a nuclear reactor with just 700 people. Maybe you should just stick to power plants. What's up? Feel free to skip this bit if you don't care about the behind the scenes kind of stuff, but I've upgraded equipment quite a bit, and videos are going to be getting a lot better here. Hopefully longer scripts. I know I keep on saying that, but it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. So you should subscribe for that, or I'll put you in my cycle factory.